Well. Word on the street has it that there's a new global sea-spanning study that says, yes, cities with more corruption, more inequality, more poverty, more violence, that they actually breed more dark personalities. Now, we're talking about a recipe with a cup of narcissists, a cup of psychopaths, a cup of Machiavellians, and just a little dash of sadism, okay? But notice that the recipe calls for a whole lot of dark triad essence. Those are the three troublemakers. You have your narcissism, which is the like ego gavista type people, right? You have psychopathy, which has zero chill, and then you have your Machiavellianism, and that's your master manipulators. And while people who do business might think that being a master manipulator is super cool, or at least sounds like it, we got to start giving these people the bombastic side eye, okay? Not respect. But in the study, there are like 2 million people across 183 countries, with 144,000 of those individuals being from the US. And they found a strong link between bad social vibes and the whole dark factor personality. Okay, so if your place motto is everyone for themselves, you might be raising some little dark triad toddlers. That's why these single ladies don't want to have kids nowadays. Just kidding. But places like he named Indonesia, Mexico, and then when it came to the United States, they named Texas. Everything bigger in Texas, Nevada, Louisiana, and even New York, said those places tend to have more of those dark personality traits, right, living in them. Then there was Denmark, New Zealand, Vermont, Utah. Those places had way lower scores on the personality test. Now, I don't know what's going on with the South, but if you're looking for a little like mid, you can jump down to Tennessee. They're not top tier evil, okay? So they just like a little mid, but probably the personality could still use like a little bubble wrap down there. They got other problems. Anywho, here's the twist, okay? It's not even about your genetics. They took 20 years of previous data and determined that social conditions really do shape who you are. Okay, so it's like this personality landscaping. So instead of getting flowers, you're over here growing this whole Machiavellian hedge labyrinth, right? You can get in and you can get out if you choose. So, right? So, all is not lost, okay? Because there's a little bit of good news in there, with it being something you can change, right? It's not necessarily your fate. If we were able to clean up a little corruption, reduce some inequality, lower some poverty levels, and some violence, voila, less dark personas would be getting planted, right? So what can we do? Maybe we can act locally by volunteering, maybe voting for a cleaner local leadership, maybe supporting some fair policies. I don't know. You got to decide that for yourself, right? Whatever's going to make your city less toxic, okay? That might also keep your character from turning dark. But you got to really choose wisely, okay? Because you might be thinking, where do I want to move? And don't go move into those places with a low score, okay? They might not be able to support you, right? But start thinking about, is my city building dark character, especially when it comes from these kids, because it only really happens if you let it, right? If you change the system, you change the traits. But you don't need to take my word for that. You could go check out the study for yourself at phys.org. It came out of the University of Copenhagen. All right, check it out, because you just might be raising some little dark chitlins. Bob Marley said, don't blame the children. T.